Guys, I have got a new nose. Why am I so nervous talking to the camera? Like, this is not like me. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Asha, also known on Instagram as Asha Mary Lou. Welcome back to the second part of my rhinoplasty vlog, and say hello to my new nose, which I am super happy with. And I've been so excited to share with you guys. I did put up a little post on Instagram with like a little before and after, but I'm going to include some before and afters that you haven't seen in this video. So as you can see in the pictures that I'm putting in now, the nose has been totally... I keep saying the nose as though it's not mine, like it does belong to me. Like it feels a bit like it doesn't, but it does belong to me. So my nose has been completely narrowed. So this section here, the bridge section, has been brought in totally. And the tip has been reduced in line with that, just to keep it in proportion. And also the hump, like the tiny hump that was caused from the fracture, has been shaved down on both sides. So you'll see my left side and my right side, which I'm just obsessed with both sides, whereas my right side of my nose you never would have seen before because I just never took photos from that angle. At the moment, other than the swelling and that sort of thing, it's feeling okay. Now it is completely numb here, like the tip, like under the tip of my nose where the stitches were, it is completely numb, I think because the nerve endings might have been damaged, but that is normal. The inside of it is still a bit sore and a little bit crusty, as disgusting as that is, because there's scabs and that sort of thing. And I do know that I still sound quite nasally. So this is my new nose. I can't believe it. I'm literally so overwhelmed with how it looks. I'm just obsessed. Now I just want to point out that I am extremely swollen. So when I first got my cast taken off a few days ago, which you'll see in the footage coming up, it looked then exactly how it's hopefully going to look at the end of the healing process, because when it first comes out of the cast, obviously it's been protected and it's been compressed, so that's kind of your desired result there and then. But then now that it's out of the cast and it's kind of reacting to the air and it's allowing it to swell, it has gone a lot sort of wider and the tip of it is quite swollen a lot at the moment. So the footage that you see when the nurse first takes my cast off is basically how the end result is going to look, probably even a little bit less swollen. Even though it is really swollen at the tip, and I've got quite a lot of like water retention up here at the moment, like under my eyes, and I'm still a little bit puffy here, I'm still obsessed with how it looks. Like I am still completely overwhelmed with the way it looks. I feel like I could just cry every time I look in the mirror. Now right now, the weirdest bit is that the tip, so the bit that if you feel your own nose is normally quite soft and flexible, is absolutely rock solid. And this has only happened in the last 24 hours. So it wasn't like this in the few days after getting my cast taken off, but in the last couple of days it has gone rock solid. Like in the last 48 hours I'd say. It's just, it feels like it's bone at the end of my nose and not just up here, but that was to be expected. The surgeon set my expectations so that when the cast comes off it's going to look amazing, and then a few days later you're going to be like, what the fuck has happened? Like my nose is fat, it's gone swollen, it doesn't look how it was when my cast first came off. But one thing I will say about the surgeon I've had is that he has been absolutely incredible at setting my expectations. I feel like because of all of the information he's given me and all of the things he's said to me that could happen, this to me is kind of like, okay, I know that's meant to be happening, so I know there's nothing wrong with my nose. Like it's a little bit hard, it's gone a bit puffy and a bit swollen over the last couple of days, but I know that's totally normal, and that's because he set my expectations so well. Also, like for me, I've had surgery before, so when I got my boobs done, I loved them as soon as I was able to get the first look at them, and when I got my bandages taken off and that sort of thing. And then over the coming weeks after that, they were sort of dropping at different times. One of them was a lot harder than the other. So for me, I know from experience that they do change so often, so things change daily. Like my nose even today looks different to how it did yesterday, and that's just part of your body accepting it, because with cosmetic surgery obviously you're making changes to your body, so your body is just kind of getting used to it, which is why it changes so regularly. But I am absolutely over the moon. Like, I cannot even describe how over the moon I am. You'll see in the footage when I got my cast taken off that my tip is a lot narrower. Now, like I just said, it is really swollen, so I think that that's all that that is. But I cannot believe how much he's managed to bring my bridge in. Like, that part here looks like a completely different nose, and just my side profile, like, I'm so obsessed. And I'm just so overwhelmed. Like, I literally love it so much. I just didn't expect it to be that good when my cast came off. I really didn't. Like, I know he's an incredible surgeon and he's really good at his job, and I knew before even going into this, after having a couple of conversations with him, I said to him, do you think you're going to be able to get me my desired result? Because that is what is so important to me. And he said he's 100% sure that he'll be able to. So I knew it was going to be amazing. But also, I hadn't seen my face properly in so long, because I'd obviously had that cast on for like 12 days, I think it was, and all the plaster, and the nurse was doing the dressing changes for me, and at one point I had the bolster thing holding my nose up, so a lot of your face is quite covered and you kind of forget what you look like. Like, my boyfriend even said to me, it feels weird seeing you without that on your face, like you get so used to it. So I think it's just a little bit overwhelming when you do get the cast taken off anyway, and it's just nice to see your nose, even though it's like loads better. It's just nice to see you looking like you. I honestly feel like this nose that I've got now is the nose that my face was always meant to have. I don't feel like it doesn't suit me. I don't feel like it has completely changed the way I look, which is something that was so massively important to me. I can compare it to, I don't know if you guys have ever watched The Unraised Essex, but Fern McCann, who is a little obsession of mine, obviously that's why she started out. Her nose is something that always bothered her, but she said, I remember she was talking on This Morning about it once, she said how a lot of people told her she didn't need it doing and it only looked a little bit bad from one side. But one thing she said was, because her nose was different and it was a feature, one thing she didn't want was to look completely different. She didn't want to look like she'd just been given this tiny little button nose. Sorry, my child is just on one. But yeah, she said she didn't want to look like she'd been given this tiny little button nose that didn't suit her face, and she still wanted to look like her, and that was exactly what my criteria was, and I feel like he has totally achieved that, and I'm completely over the moon, and it's everything I ever wanted, and it's so much better than I expected. So I'm super happy. I cannot even explain how happy I am. Even now that it's swollen and it's very tender and it's sore and it is changing, I am still very happy with it, and I just can't wait to see what it's going to look like in the 6 to 8 weeks, where you know exactly what it's going to look like at the end. So I will update you, of course, somewhere down the line. I'll do like a third part to this vlog series, should we call it, because obviously you've got the part 1, which is when I explain my reasons why. This part 2, I have revealed my nose, and I'm going to be doing a little Q&A at the end of this vlog as well. So on the next bit, I think it will be the bit where I get my cast taken off with the nurse, and then you'll see some footage of how it immediately looks. Please ignore the state of my skin, because obviously I had sticky stuff all over my face and my skin hadn't been able to breathe for a couple of days, but you guys know that I love to show all the real stuff, so I thought I'd put it in here anyway, even though I look absolutely horrendous in the footage. And then I've got some footage, I think it might be a couple of days later, where I'm just letting you know how I'm feeling about it and that sort of thing. And then I've got some footage from Wednesday just gone, which is when I went to see the consultant. But yeah, the thing I wanted to say at the very start is that I'm just completely obsessed with my results and I'm so happy. Another thing to point out is that I haven't really got any update on the pain, because the bruising and the swelling has just gone down gradually. Now, like I've just said, since I got the cast taken off, the swelling on my actual nose has increased, but that was to be expected, so that will go down over the next week. But one thing I have experienced, which I've never had an issue with before, is headaches. I've had a migraine in sort of the background of my head pretty much ever since I had the operation done. Now personally, I think that might be because I had the bone replacement. So if you've watched the first bit of my vlog, part 1, you would have seen where I had the bone cut from behind my ear to put in my nose to fix the fracture, and I think that is what exactly is causing the headaches, because that was obviously quite a sore thing to have done. They're not too bad, other than the fact that they do tend to come on when I'm in daylight. Like today I've been driving in direct sunlight and they're just quite sore, really, that's all it is. But I don't know if you just had a normal open... Okay, we'll just ignore that. I don't know if you just have a normal open rhinoplasty, if you will get the headaches. Obviously, it's all to do with your bone, and as disgusting as this sounds, there's probably a lot of drilling and chipping and all that sort of thing involved when you're under anaesthetic, so it probably is going to have a little bit of an effect. But I don't know if you have a normal rhinoplasty and whether you don't have the bone replacement, the headaches would be any better. But that is really the only thing that has changed, is that I am suffering with these headaches. I am absolutely fine other than that. The swelling is pretty much, I'd say 95% gone. I don't look as Alvin and the Chipmunks as I did last time I checked in with you, but I think I'm still a little bit puffy. Certainly around here it's very tender, but yeah, my tummy just rumbled. I'm absolutely starving, and I've spoken a little bit too much in this bit, so I'm just going to get on with the footage.
Tell me if it's uncomfortable.
Ah, I feel like I'm getting waxed.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Literally just can't stop crying. What the fuck? I can't go. How is that my nose? As you can see, I am currently sat in my makeup studio. I am actually between clients, but after having my splint off this morning, I just couldn't wait to show you all my nose. So I've got a little half-an-hour break, and I just wanted to talk about it because I just can't even believe that this nose belongs to me. What the hell? What the hell? I'm literally speechless. Like, when they took the splint off, I just burst into tears because it is everything I wanted. Like, he couldn't have got it more spot on. I'm absolutely in love with it. To the left, I'm literally just obsessed with it. This is the side that I preferred before having surgery anyway, but it's just even better now. And then this is it to my right, which is just, I get really emotional when I look at it on this side because that's the side that I really hated, and now I don't mind it, and that is just the best outcome. I don't mind it, like, I absolutely love it. I love it from the left side and from the right side of my face and from straight on, which you would never ever ever hear me say, like, before I had this surgery done. How did he get it so perfect, and how does it look so different yet still look like me? But for the next couple of days, I'm just gonna let my skin breathe, wear absolutely zilch makeup. I haven't worn makeup in forever anyway, given the operation, and to be fair, I rarely wear like skin makeup, so I'm just gonna let my skin breathe, and then in a couple of days, when I feel like I can touch it without being too tender, I'm gonna moisturize it because my skin needs some serious TLC. Like, it's so dry, and then I've got a bit of a rash around the area of where the actual plaster was. I don't know if you can see. And I just need a bit of SOS skin treatment, so I'm gonna have a little break, a couple of days of doing nothing to my skin, let my nose settle, and then I'm just gonna go in with some moisturiser. I can't wait. I cannot even tell you, my skin feels like sandpaper because it has been so long since I've been able to wash it properly or put any products on it. I just can't wait until I'm in a position to actually make myself look half decent, because I have looked like a thumb for the last 3 weeks. I'm just literally like, I'm speechless. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is my nose. I had my stitches taken out on Monday, which was sore, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when she was trying to get the tweezers under the stitches, they were really really tight, and she was trying to get the tweezers in and then the scissors, and it just kept pinching my skin. But God bless the nurse, there's nothing, you know, she could have done better. It was just the fact that the stitches were so tight. But you can kind of see here, it is healing. So the stitches were just from there to the middle, and it is healing quite well. It's still a little bit sore, still a bit scabby, but it's healing well, so I'm happy with that. I'm just so happy with it. Like, I am stupidly happy with it. I couldn't be happier. I'm literally in love with it. Like, it's just crazy when you have hated something about yourself for so long, and then like going through the process of changing that, especially when it comes to cosmetic surgery. It's so much to take in and it's so much to think about, and it's just so overwhelming. Like, for me to look at myself right now, like straight on down the center of this camera, and not just automatically be turning my head to the left because that's how I prefer it, but it's honestly just overwhelming. Oh, I can't believe I'm crying on camera. Christ, this is a low point of my life. Why would that happen when I've obviously just started filming? Two things to excuse: the lighting, because it is dark and my car lights are shit and it's making me look like a ghost, but that's fine. And also the state of me, because it is, oh my god, has my Fitbit died? What the hell is going on? No, it is 7 o'clock and this makeup's been on all day. My hair is in desperate need of a wash. Blow dry day tomorrow if I can get to the hairdressers. With everything that's going on, I am just setting off for my follow-up consultation. So this consultation that I'm having today is just over 2 weeks since my surgery. So my surgery was 2 weeks on Saturday. It's now the Wednesday, and this is the first time I'm seeing Mr. Fattar since I woke up. So I've had my cast off, you would have seen already in the footage before, but this is the first time that I'm actually seeing him. So I'm really excited because I think it's healing absolutely amazing and I'm so happy with it. So really I just can't wait to thank him for everything that he's done, because I'm obsessed with my new nose. I'm really happy with it. I've got a brew. Sorry, I really needed a cup of tea and I didn't have time to sit and have one in the house. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to see him. I'm excited to see what he thinks, how he thinks it's going, because I could think it's going amazing and he could say something different. I'm a little bit swollen today under my eyes, feeling a little bit bruised and tender, so I'll see what he says about that. And I may have already mentioned the headaches that I've been having already in the video, so I will see what he says about those as well. I'm sure they're just normal. It's just gone 7 o'clock now. My appointment is actually at 7:45 and it takes me 44 minutes to get to the private hospital, so cutting it fine as always. Why am I like this? But yeah, I think the roads are going to be like zombie land anyway, so I should get there a little bit quicker. Just a little side note, if you're wondering why I'm going on about the current situation of the world and why I'm talking about the roads being like a bit of a zombie land, we are currently experiencing something called coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. It's a little bit of an outbreak that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and we are currently as a world not knowing what the hell we're supposed to be doing because the death toll is just rising and rising. So if you're watching this in many years to come, I really hope that this is just known as the great toilet roll shortage of the 21st century, because I'm hoping that it will all just blow over, but who knows. But yeah, there's a bit of a crazy virus going on right now, and that's made me a little bit nervous to be entering a hospital environment this evening. But it's a private hospital and I'm sure, just like the NHS, they're taking loads of precautions. It's a bit of a crazy world right now and everything's going off the shelves and there is absolutely no toilet roll in any shops. For some reason that is the one thing people seem to be panic buying. Anyway, rambling on, but yeah, I'm just gonna set off now. I'm probably, yeah, I really need to get going, so I will see you either at the hospital or when I get back. Okay, so following on from what you just saw, I obviously went in to see the consultant and we were both just like buzzing for each other. Like, we were both just bouncing off each other because I think he was really worried that I wasn't going to be as happy with my result as I thought I was going to be. And the reason why he was a little bit more worried for me compared to like another patient is because I've told him that I'm filming the process. I've told him that I do a lot of social media, stuff like that. So I think he kind of thought that I was in this like picture perfect world, and because of everything I do for a living, he thought that I take in all of this information about how perfect noses look on Instagram and stuff like that. So I think he thought I had really, really high expectations, which I did, and rightly so, because it's something that I'm paid to have done. But he was just a little bit worried because of that, because you know how perfect everything looks on Instagram, which isn't always the God honest truth. So he was super happy. He was like really happy, buzzing, and I was obviously really chuffed as well. So we were just having like a little conversation. We just had a catch up with how the experience had been for me. I did explain the headaches to him, and he just reiterated that that is totally normal because the whole bone replacement thing was quite severe. He did actually show me, I wasn't allowed to take pictures. I really wanted to take pictures to show you, but I wasn't allowed to. He took pictures of fracture in my nose once he'd like done the, obviously the opening of my nose, and it was a whole lot worse than he thought it was going to be. The fracture on my left side of my nose, which is what created that bump there, which I discussed in the first part of the video, was literally from here, from the very corner of my nose all the way up, and it just split off into like loads of different directions. So that's why they had to take a chunkier piece of this bone here than what they originally thought, which again explains the headaches that I've been having, because it was a lot more severe than what they thought it was going to be. So I am completely at ease that the headaches are normal, and I'm just going to keep staying dosed up on paracetamol and just hope that they settle down over the next few weeks. But yeah, seeing the pictures that he took while I was under and seeing the little diagrams that he drew was super interesting, because I didn't have a clue about how much work actually goes into the operation. Now, I don't know if I did mention in the first half of this vlog, but it did actually end up being a 4.5-hour operation. But it was a lot longer than what he thought it was going to be. But yeah, he was really pleased with how it went, and I'll now see him in 6 weeks, which takes me to the 29th of April. So I will see him around that time. I'm really happy that he was just as happy as me, and of course it was really nice to see him just so that I get to thank him for what he's done for me and my confidence. So I'll see him in 6 weeks, and then I think I'll see him sort of every couple of months until we get to like the full 12-month period, because that is how long an operation like this takes to fully completely settle. Moving on to the part that you're all dying to know, I'm going to answer the main questions that I was asked over on my Instagram story when I put up the whole ask me a rhinoplasty related question thing. So let's get into those now. Hopefully I'll answer everything that you all have been dying to know, but if there is anything at all, then just leave me a question in the comments box below, because I always do try and get back to you all. Okay, so some of the questions were actually quite similar, so I will narrow them down a little bit. So the first one is, how did you find a surgeon that was suitable for you? There is so many out there, I am so confused. Now this is a question that I'm sure a lot of you want to know, because I spoke so highly of Transform, a cosmetic surgery company, in the past. I know loads of you wanted to know if I decided to go back to them. Now the reason why I didn't is just because I really wanted this specific surgeon, and he didn't actually operate in Transform. He actually operated in a hospital much closer to my home address. Finding that surgeon, let me tell you, I did a hell of a lot of research. I've been considering a rhinoplasty for at least 18 months, and I've done a lot of research with regards to who I want to go to. Now, like I've said, for me, I really wanted subtle changes, and I also needed the inside sorting. If you haven't seen part 1, go and watch it, but if you haven't and you don't know what I'm talking about, I had breathing issues in my left nostril, so I needed the inside doing. So it wasn't just cosmetic, but also I really wanted it to just be a subtle change. Mr. Fattar came up quite a lot on Google, and I've looked at his website, which was super professional, and I looked at his before and afters that he has on his own website. Now, he doesn't have Instagram or anything like that, which for me isn't really a bonus or a positive, that's not the right word, but I just think cosmetic surgery is just as big as having any other sort of surgery done. And if the way your surgeon promotes it is purely on Instagram, like I've seen a lot of these places abroad in Turkey, I think that's just a way of poaching young girls to maybe think, oh, I need that done, or I should go to them because they've got 50,000 followers on Instagram and that sort of thing. And bearing in mind, I got my boobs done back when I was 19 and I didn't even have Instagram. Instagram was not a thing then. So for me, doing hard research, going online, not just putting hashtag into Instagram, was what I was used to doing anyway, because I've done it the first time round. So I think when he said to me in that first consultation, I told him I'd be filming the process, and he said, oh, I don't do Instagram, you know, I'm quite an old-fashioned surgeon. I really want this to be focused on what you want instead of just what you've seen on Instagram. I was like, right, okay, he sounds like my kind of person. Like, he sounds like he's got my best interests at heart, which is so, so important. And he's not just going to give me a generic nose that he's given to every other person that has gone to see him. So that was massively important. Do your research. Rhinoplasty consultants in my area, rhinoplasty consultants in the northwest, you will get loads of people come up. You can go through, have a look at their work, book a free consultation. Some of them do free consultations, some of them don't, but go around as many people as you can if you're still not sure. Now, if you feel like going to Google to find a specific surgeon isn't going to work for you, I totally get that, because when I got my boobs done, I looked for a company instead of a specific surgeon, and that's how I came across Transform. Now, if I didn't find Mr. Fattar and I really wasn't sure about who on earth I wanted, there is not a doubt in my mind that I would have gone back to Transform, because they were just so incredible. And I feel like if you need a starting point, if you need some information, if you need advice, instead of just fishing for that consultant yourself, then go into a company like Transform, who obviously I 1,000,000% recommend 100 times over. Go into them and saying, this is what I want, what consultant do you think could give me those results? Because the patient care coordinators there are so well trained, and they have never let me down on recommendations before. So if I wasn't sure, if I wasn't getting anywhere with trying to find a surgeon myself, 100% I'd have gone back to Transform. So if you're like that and you're not 100% sure what it is that you want or what kind of consultant you need, then that is a good starting point. Look at cosmetic surgery companies who have all of these consultants under their roof that do lots of different things, and they're trained professionals on helping you find the right one for you. Who was your consultant? So I did just say his name. So he is Mr. Adel Fattar, and he is a plastics consultant. And I will leave a link to his website below. I honestly can't recommend him enough. He is a true professional. I just feel like he wanted what was best for me more than I did myself. And I just feel like how clear and precise he was through the whole process made this so much more digestible and so much more easy for me. Go check out his website. Obviously, it goes without saying that this is absolutely in no way a paid thing. Like, I am not being paid to say any of this. I paid for the procedure myself like any other normal person. This is a personal recommendation. He is amazing at what he does. Like, he has honestly changed my life, really. That's all I can say. And I think I owe it to him to put the recommendation out there. So definitely go and check out his website and his work if you're interested in going with the same consultant. How much did it cost? So the cost with the rhinoplasty is totally variable, whether it's an open rhinoplasty, a closed rhinoplasty, and how much work you're actually wanting done. Mine was, I think, just short of £4,500. Now, the reason why mine was that cost is because I had the cosmetic side of it done. I got my breathing corrected, which, by the way, I can breathe completely normal out of my left nostril like I can out of my right, and that is a miracle, because I have not been able to do that for so long. And I also had the bone replacement because of the fracture. So all of that is what generated the price of my rhinoplasty. So it's completely specific for consultant, company, what exactly it is that you have done. So it's best to ask, obviously, when you go for your consultations, but just to give you a guide price, mine was just short of £4,500. What was the pain like? Now, I talk a lot about the pain of the procedure back in the first part of my rhinoplasty vlog, just because I'm talking you through it whilst it's actually happening to me. But with regards to actual pain, I didn't really feel much pain because I was completely numbed up. They give you loads of local anaesthetic injections as well as obviously general anaesthetic. But for me, the biggest pain was behind my ear because they didn't give me any local there, and that was quite sore to heal. So you're not really in any sort of pain, you're just in a bit of discomfort. It's annoying. You're aware that something's happened to your face and your body's thinking, oh my god, what is it? Like, fight it, fight it. So it's kind of achy. Obviously, the worst part of it is the swelling and the bruising. That was not a great look for me. You can go back to the first part of the vlog and check out those photos, but they were absolutely horrendous. Do you know what? I'm even going to put my favourite photo from that period of my life back in this vlog here, because everybody needs to see it. I've literally been showing everybody this picture. I think I might get it framed because I just look at it and it doesn't even look like me, so I'll put that in here. So the worst part was the swelling and the bruising. The pain itself was absolutely fine. You're sent home with a load of cocodamol, so I can't really say it was all that painful. It was just more uncomfortable and a bit of a shock to the system because you're so swollen and bruised. But yeah, the pain was okay. It was fine. Interesting question. What did your family say about you getting the procedure done? Now, my family, back when I told them I was having my boobs done when I was 19, they were all quite shocked, and they accepted it and they were okay with it, but they were just worried. Now this time round I approached it a little bit differently. I of course told everybody and was completely honest with everybody, but I did actually explain to them my reasons why, sort of from the offset. So not only was it a cosmetic reason, which to be honest everybody's aware of anyway, that I didn't really like the appearance of my nose, but I also explained to them how it would be helping me breathe a lot better as well. So I think as long as you explain to your family that for personal benefits and also that you have done your research, kind of eases the blow a little bit. My family were really supportive. My mum actually took a week's annual leave. So my mum lives 4 hours away from me in Cardiff, so I'm in North Wales, she's down in South Wales, and she took a week's annual leave to come and look after me, so that was super kind. And my brother was really kind, who I live with. He looked after me, and of course James was amazing. He looked after me as well, my boyfriend. So they were all really accepting and just said that as long as I know that I'm doing it for the right reasons and I do feel like it's really going to benefit me, then of course they'll 100% support me. I chose this question because I really liked it. So somebody said, were you scared that you wouldn't like your new nose as much as you liked your natural nose? Now I don't know if like is the right word, but I do get what you're saying. So what if I thought it didn't suit my face as much as my old nose, or whether I was just so used to my old nose that I couldn't adjust to this one? I wasn't scared because anything would have been an improvement. And I feel like if you're at the point where you're genuinely going under rhinoplasty or considering rhinoplasty, and it's for the reasons that you're so insecure about your nose, then all you've got to look forward to is excitement rather than fear, because you can't wait for it to look a lot better than it does before, and it's going to give you this unfound confidence that you didn't know that you had. So yeah, scared isn't really a thing, it's more excitement. That's the best way to look at it. And finally, do you think you'll have any more surgery done? Now I'm not planning on it. I knew I wanted my boobs done, and my nose is something that's always bothered me. There isn't anything else about my body that I really think is that serious that I would undergo a procedure, but I will have to get my breast augmentation done again soon because I'm 7 years post-op, 7 years this year in June, and your warranty only lasts 10 years with the implants. So my plan is to get them done around 10-11 years again, so that the warranty renews. So yeah, I'll definitely be getting those done again when the time is right. But with regards to surgery on any other part of my body, I definitely don't plan to get anything else done, not anytime soon anyway. So yeah, so I think that's everything. I don't think there was anything else that really didn't fall into one of those categories, but like I say, anything you do want to ask that I haven't answered, then just pop a question below, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram. I do always try and get back to my DMs as well. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this second part of the rhinoplasty video. I will be back in about 8 to 12 weeks maybe, talking about my rhinoplasty and how it's gone now that I'm at the full recovery period at that stage. But of course you will see me before then in all of my other videos. Quickly before I go as well, let me just do a quick outfit of the day. So I have got my trusty Primark joggers on. These are just what I live in all the time, and then this sweater is from I Saw It First and I am obsessed with it. So it just says new edition, I think, and then it's obviously got these doggos on it, which I love. This pastel baby blue colour I am literally obsessed with because I feel like it makes my eyes look really blue. next week I think I'm filming a Pretty Little Thing haul, and I'm going to be doing a loungewear haul, obviously, as we are now all stuck indoors for quite some time, or we're all social distancing or whatever, with a lot of places being shut. I thought a loungewear one would be a good one to film, so that will be up next Sunday. But until then, if you want, you can go and follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link to my Instagram down below, and I will see you all in next week's video.